nice to have a good a release valve like Isaac to be able to talk about things starting fresh from zero. What a bizarre community. What are you talking about? Are you talking about the OMC fan group? It's the only thing that I can think of that's that bizarre. Am I right, DL Guiga? I want to smoke the stuff that made Courtney love. I don't think you do, honestly. No disrespect to Courtney Love. I like some songs from Hole. And I think that she was really good in The People versus Larry Flint, but I don't think you want to smoke the stuff that made Courtney Love, to be honest with you. Are you an item? You are an item. This is not good, though. I want to smoke the stuff that made Kate Moss. Okay, you know what? That's pretty good. And it's not just because you're Chibli. I'm gonna give you a point on that one. Chibli, I think you're ready. And it's not even your fault. I think you've been getting such a buff from chat that you're actually going to experience your downfall in Jackbox. Like Malf is he's gonna root for your virtual demise. What do you mean by that? In every episode of Jackbox, every time we play Jackbox, Chibli, and I don't mean any disrespect by this, Chibli gets like I'm going to say a 20% boost in the popular vote because he's Chibli. Now, most of the time, I also vote for Chibli. But that's simply because it's not because he's like a fan favorite. It's because his answer is typically a lot better than the other answer that it went up against. If it's happened once, it's happened 1,000 times. You get a boost too? Yeah, you see, but it doesn't feel like that. I feel like I get penalized. You might say like you win more often than you lose. That's true, but I should win 100% of the time. So the fact that I ever lose means that there is some kind of like a force weighing me down artificially. Losing at what? It doesn't matter, quite frankly. When your lips are chapped as fuck and then that first sip of Coke Zero touches them, oh, baby. The caffeine right into my bloodstream. I guess that's the way it normally works, huh? Yeah, I think so. Can I tell you something? Any Canadians in the chat right now? I had the honor, nay, the privilege of dining at the Keg last night. I was talking about it with Kate. Is the Keg the last Canadian chain restaurant standing in the give a fuck war? I really think that like every other Canadian restaurant that's become franchised and turned into a chain, everyone's like, yeah, well, it used to be better when there were only 2 locations in Etobicoke, but now that they've gone like national, it's garbage. The Keg is still hanging in there. I had a fantastic steak. The bread was delicious. Service was good. It was good. Kelsey's, if you ask my dad. Okay, listen, I'm not trying to put your dad on blast. I went to Kelsey's maybe like 5 years ago because I was having dinner with my parents and my grandma, and my grandma's got an unsophisticated palate. I was flabbergasted when I opened the Kelsey's menu, and there were literally like 400 different variants of hamburger on the menu. And it's not like a restaurant that's like a hamburger restaurant. It's just like a casual dining restaurant. But there were I think I got like the Nashville hot chicken sandwich or something like that. And when I ordered it, the dude was like, which one? I had to open up the menu again and be like, this one? And he's like, oh, okay, the Cajun Nashville. Like, it had like 17 different variants on the name. It was like, a piece of loot in Diablo 4. I'm pretty sure they just had to know like what bin to open up to get out like a bag and then put the bag into the microwave and then slide that stuff on top of a bun. It was still pretty good though. I mean, it's a sandwich. What can you say? But fantastic steaks and where to find them. I'll tell you where to find them at the Keg. This is not a sponsored video. I've dined at the Keg 2 times in the last 5 years. I left the establishment thinking to myself, that was worth our time. That was worth our time and our money. They're having a mid-off. Come on. I think I'm done with red meat. I'm always done with red meat, except when I'm at a steakhouse. I'm a big believer that beef is a little bit overrated. But if you're at a steakhouse, I'm not going to say you got to have a steak. I don't know your dietary concerns. If you're at a steakhouse, it's my position that you should order a steak. You don't go to a steakhouse all that often if you value your cardiac well-being. Definitely as a younger man, I would be the guy who would go to a steakhouse and be like, this steak is really expensive. Instead, I'll just have the chicken dish that's like proportionally equally expensive, but not quite as absolutely expensive as the steak. The way you win at a steakhouse is accepting that it's going to be expensive. Save your money elsewhere, or don't go to the steakhouse and get a decent steak. You don't have to get, you know, the best steak on the menu. But at least, you know, if you're already there, it's like live a little, you know? What'd you get? I got the 20-ounce rib steak, bone in, cooked medium rare. I thought about getting it Chicago style, but then I was like, am I just ordering it Chicago style to sound like a cool guy? Chicago style apparently is when it's charred on the outside and then cooked to your desired doneness on the inside. I was like, that would taste pretty good, but I didn't feel like I was the guy who could be like, yeah, let me get the rib steak, medium rare, and can you drag it through the garden for me? Put a little bit of poop on top. Grow up. Controversial take. The dude from What's My Age Again should have been acting his age. He was doing some immature stuff. I mean, turning on the TV while he's fooling around a little bit, that's like between you and whoever you're fooling around with. I've seen videos where my own content's in the background, and I'm like, brother, leave me out of this. I didn't ask for that. Right, Chiblee? What? What did I step on? Some goop? Little bit of poop? But he definitely should not have called that lady's husband, or that lady, and said the state looks down on sodomy. And that's about the time that hung up on me. That's just not cool. Like a prank call is one thing, you know, is your refrigerator running, but like, I mean, there's multiple reasons that that's not based. I don't think I need to get into all of them. But I will in this 5-paragraph essay. The Merriam-Webster's Dictionary defines sodomy as, what is that again? Up here we call it pop. I don't know where I'm going with this. Worst rooms ever created in Isaac history? We'll come back for that. Your Honor, I was saying soda-me. Soda-me. I was thirsty. What soda? Coke Zero. You're free to go. We take. They banned the dictionary in Florida. I'm not joking. What do you mean they banned the dictionary? Who cares? Well, I mean, I care. In the sense that, like, it's very funny. The state looks down on dictionaries. That's about the time. Nobody likes you when you're the dictionary. You know what I'm saying? Oh, in one county. Okay. One county. You can't be... Every plate's got some goofy counties, man. Don't even get me started. I'm trying to name some. I'm trying to think. Lennox and Addington. That's a classic one. If you're from there. What's the goofy one in BC? I mean, in a certain... Listen, honestly... People from northern BC, all like 18 of them, are probably like Vancouver's the goofy one. Yeah, there's like 3 million people in the metro area, but the real salt of the earth people are up here in the 100 Mile House. They're way out of touch down there where they live with other people. If you live surrounded by livestock, you could have a different set of opinions. Hey, hey, hey! Only we can be derogatory towards you, not the other way around. But honestly, I kind of feel like, and I like Victoria, but I kind of feel like Victoria's goofy. Because it's the second biggest, well, it's the second biggest municipality in British Columbia. It's culturally sort of similar to Vancouver, which is already a little weird. But then it's on an island, so it has that weird, like, islandness as well. Like, you would think that they would be borderline identical because of their geographic proximity, but the BC ferries are participating in a cultural exchange every single day. Like, I feel like Victoria, when I was there, people were still stoked. They were like, check this out. We've got a Cold Stone Creamery. And I was like, what year is it, bro? I was seeing, like low-rise jeans with the thongs poking out everywhere. I'm like, it's like, I'm not sure if they're ahead of the times or like 20 years behind the times. They still have like local businesses that are owner-operated. They're not like, you know, franchised out to one dude who lives on Bay Street in Toronto. Like, it's a throwback to a different era. Maybe even a better time. It is, they're still keeping the 90s alive over there. Green tea or matcha? I said I'll take a medium coffee, please. I said medium coffee. How do you take it? As fast as possible. I've got a busy day ahead of me. Me, if I was an important guy. Hey, oh, hang on 1 second. I'll take a medium coffee, please. Come on, medium coffee, come on. Hey, just a second. The barista's being a real... What are you putting it? I'm gonna put my freaking complaint in your complaint box unless you get that coffee out here. Toot sweet. You're giving me flashbacks? People who work as a barista. I'm gonna give you a theory. I don't like to like hang other people out to dry. I like to be the person who's hung out to dry and then try to squirm out of it. I'm gonna say that if you worked as a Starbucks barista or a barrister, whatever you choose, drink artist, bartender, I bet like in the 90s to the early 2000s, I bet it was like my impression of Starbucks from that era, as someone who sort of like lived through its ascent, was that it was like a go, this like steam coming out everywhere. It's like that classically used video of the two dudes at the doo-doo factory who are like wrenching the pipe open, and then like a crane moves another pipe in, and they got their shirts off and they're covered in mud, and like they're being really extra about it. I feel like that's what being a Starbucks barista was like in like 2001. And then in like 2010 to 2015, me personally, I think it was a golden age. People were coming in, they had already ordered on the app, and they were like, "Where's my coffee?" And then they're like, "Here's your coffee." And they were like, "Oh, thank you." And they just walked out of the store. And then around the rise of TikTok and the expansion of Starbucks to all corners of the United States of America, I think has probably been a disaster for Starbucks baristas. Now you get entitled people at 7:15 a.m. who are like, "Where's my chocolate milkshake? I told you I wanted 8 pumps of hazelnut. This only tastes like 6.5, you know?" That's just my thoughts. Chibli got a gifted sub. Honestly, I support that. I'm still you have to be very careful as a content creator subscribing to your friends and colleagues with your own money, because it's basically like a recurring lifetime subscription. You never know when someone's gonna like audit your subscriptions and be like, "What the hell?" I don't think I've unsubscribed from anybody in the history of this website. So you might be like, he's a little thrifty with using the subscriptions, and that's true. But like once I subscribe, it's like a damn penguin, bro. We're mating for life, okay? That's called the phantom tax. Exactly. People don't want to hear it, but it's kind of crazy that like subscriptions, and I'm not saying they should raise the price of subscriptions. Hear me out on this one, okay? Because you don't get anything out of them to begin with except for the emotes. But it's kind of crazy that it's been like, 10 years of subscriptions being $5 US. There's lots of other worthless services that have had the audacity to like really increase their prices over that time period. Don't give Twitch any ideas? Bro, have you seen the news? They need some ideas. I'm giving them some ideas. They need... You know what they need to do? I actually have an insane one. You ready for this? Remove... I'm taking it. Remove a Shadow Insurgent. Thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you, thank you. Remove Prime rewards, the gaming rewards you get for being part of Prime, and instead roll them into a redone Twitch Turbo that's a battle pass. So you get, every month they give you Twitch quests every single day. As you complete the dailies, you level up the Twitch Turbo battle pass and it unlocks the Prime gaming rewards. People would be like, "I don't want to watch this fucking website today, but I need to watch at least 60 minutes of a League streamer to get my dailies done." Oh, baby. Do not let this man into Silicon Valley. Don't be mad at me. Be mad because it works, okay? Like, my ass would not be chatting, but if I had the battle pass, and for that day, it was like expires in 23 hours, 59 minutes, leave 20 chat messages, I'd be like, okay, fine, here we go. Hey guys, what's he playing today? Anybody have the docket? Lol, +2. Oh. People love ticking off little boxes on the quest list, especially if they get like a little token for it. Huge. need some damn damage, bro. And then at the end of it, who knows? Like, you just get, like, special emotes or something. I'm actually, now that I'm, like, saying it out loud, that's not a good enough synergy. I'm stunned they haven't done it already. Instead, it's always, like, you know, it's the end of the year. If you got your Twitch recapped, here's, like, a little badge for you. They should be releasing the badges, like every month, there's 5 new actually good emotes in the Twitch Turbo Battle Pass, and you gotta get that thing maxed out to get the emote so you can flex on other people. They're like, yo, you got the Keanu Reeves emote, bro! You got the John Wick emote! Yeah. I won like 70 chat royales last season. Bro, how long have you been chatting? Oh, I've been chatting like basically since it came out. I haven't played hard every season, but you know, you just, it adds up over time. Thank you. That's how I know it's a good idea. Ipecac with 4 range. Monka S. Ipecac with 4 range with Rice. 7 out of 10. With no brim. Sorry. Anyway, I think it's a good idea. People are talking about, because, you know, Twitch is having financial troubles, they're like, maybe they'll remove the Prime sub, or they'll make it so, like, if you have Prime, your 1 subscription a month is half off, and I'm like, brother, we're cooked. If that's, we gotta be a little bit more ingenious than that. Free sub with Prime, I'll click that button once a month, no problem. Get $1.75 off your subscription with Prime. I just don't know if I could bring myself to click the button, man. It's not nearly as motivating. I understand why you would do it, but it's not as motivating. That's the thing, is like you got us weaned on the teat, and now you're trying to take the teat away. And people are like, but I like the teat. Hey. And I have heard, you know, like so much of it is driven by like interest rates, right? People are like, you know, they're almost like, I feel like they're taking glee in it. They're like, people are finally finding out the true cost of what it would actually take to pay for the world that we were living in from 2013 to 2020. And I'm like, damn, we were living in like financially, like wizard times, like once in a lifetime financial conditions, and that's what we got. It was like 100 live streaming services, increasingly fragmented over and over. Like we didn't go to Mars or anything as a species. Instead, it was like, you know, Uber Eats. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. I would have thought there'd be something like a little bit more transformative than that. We perfected streaming? Kind of, but like, I don't know. For streamers, yeah, but apparently the platform can't make money, even though I say this legitimately. I must be too stupid to understand it, because it doesn't make sense to me that it costs Twitch money to stream video because they're owned by Amazon, who owns like the gas station. It's like saying your gas is too expensive for my trucking company, and I'm like, brother, you're Esso. Like, what are you talking about? Can't you just charge yourself less for the gas you're using? Like, I know that they're using like infrastructure and electricity and stuff like that, but it doesn't make sense to me. Amazon is one of those things though, where I'm like, That feels like a zero interest rate phenomenon. Like stuff arriving at your house cheaper than it would take for you, cheaper than the price of a store, and they deliver it to your house faster. That doesn't seem to make sense to me. Like for a while you get used to it and you're like, that's just how the world works. But then you really puzzle out the economics of it. You're like, you own a guy, well, you own the guy's time, you own a truck, and then he's like really driving 10 kilometers out of his way to bring me like a little box with an electric razor in it. And it's $5 cheaper than if I drove myself to the store and got it from Canadian Tire. Like that's fraudulent. It simply doesn't make sense. Everyone's saying I'm right, which means I must be wrong. When the whole internet agrees with you, you should start looking for a way out. Where the hell am I going, bro? I do think, though, that I would use Amazon for delivery a lot more if they had a service where they took care of the cardboard for me. I think that's the next reasonable step in the evolution. Why don't you just give it to your cats? Because we fucking ordered like more than one thing a decade on Amazon. My whole house would just be cardboard boxes, bro. So I can't get around any of the damn residential streets because everybody's got their cars parked in front of their houses. And I'm like, why don't you use your garage? And they're like, oh, it's full of trash. Fucking get on it, bro. I don't want a Mega Penny. Or like, yeah, dissolvable cardboard. I mean, I just throw mine in the fireplace, so it's no big deal, but this could be fun. Why is that pill so huge? Me taking fish oil for the first time? I mean, like, come on. Then, because I bought the cheapest fish oil supplement in the damn store, they're like, the dose for this is like 11 pills a day. And I'm like, are you trying to kill me? It's just too much, man. We don't even have recycling here. Hang on, I need this. This will really tie the run together. I just think that, like, when people are like, why don't you just, like, use your kid would love to play with the cardboard. I'm like, are you denying? Like, if you work in the cardboard production industry, I bet you're living in a golden age right now, and you're probably going to say, fuck me for outing you. You know how the rate of cardboard box usage in our society has gone up like 100x in the last 10 years? We got too much cardboard, bro. It's getting ridiculous. You don't have a cardboard recycling bin? I do, but like think of the waste of time that we're doing here. They're going into the forest, they're cutting down a motherfucking tree, they're turning that shit into pulp, they're turning it into paper, they're putting the paper together, making it into cardboard, they're forming it into a box, they're shipping the flattened boxes to Amazon. Amazon's putting like one bag of Ruffles all dressed potato chips into the cardboard box, folding it up, putting tape on the box, shipping it to my house in like a half diesel, half electric vehicle. As soon as it gets to my house, I'm like, rip. I undo all of the work that they just did. I put it in my cardboard recycling box. Another truck comes and picks up the cardboard, takes it to the recycling facility where I'm pretty sure they break that shit back down into pulp. It doesn't make any sense, man. It's all made up. It's all fake. I think this whole Amazon phenomenon is perpetuated by one dude with a cardboard box factory and a damn dream. Can I use your takes and pretend they're my opinion? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You have my permission. Actually, I would feel worse if you gave me credit. Like, imagine guy who watched the H-Bomber Guy video on plagiarism and now exhaustively credits all of his sources every time he references something in conversation. That's not a knock on H-Bomber Guy. It's a knock on the person I made up in my head. Oh, man. Me talking to people, so women really like sushi a lot, right? Don't you have to go at it more delicately, okay? I will say though, on Friday we had pizza. I don't believe we had any sushi this weekend. For my wife's birthday dinner, we had steak. For her birthday lunch, we had a high tea. And I understand that people are gonna make a joke about testosterone, but you should really be making a joke about British cuisine. That's where I would go with that one, at least. I had never had high tea before. It was interesting to experience cuisine from, I don't even want to call it another culture, like another economic strata. I mean, I don't know who's consuming like high tea on the regular, but there was some stuff I enjoyed about the experience of high tea, and there was some stuff that I was kind of like 50-50 on, but it was nice to experience. I liked the scones. That was good. I didn't like, honestly, the finger sandwiches, I thought I would like them more than I did. The cucumber sandwich with the crust cut off, I was like, I love cucumber, I love cream cheese, I love bread, how can I not like this? And I did like it, but when I was eating it, I was kind of like, they really, like, the British Empire lasted for like 1,000 years, and we're out here eating like cream cheese sandwich. They didn't invent like a special condiment or something for this. It's just like, it was exactly okay, I would say. And then like, I don't know what else was on it. There was like some tarts, some macarons and stuff like that. Wasn't against it, but it was fun to eat. It came on like a tall tower, and as you finish one section, you could like pull that part off and then move on to the lower section. It was a little bit like that Netflix show, The Platform. I said a little bit. I would say the keg clears it, though. Just my 2 cents. Huge. Why are some movies bad? I don't work in the industry, but that's never stopped me from forming an opinion, even in this very video. I think some movies are bad for a variety of different reasons. You know, the Occam's razor on why are some movies bad is that they're hard to make. Making a good movie is difficult. You know, it's like half art and half like logistics. You need a good script, good actors and actresses, a good director. You also need, you know, like some shit that you and I would never even think of. You got to get the best boy. You got to get a gaffer. You got to get a key grip. I don't even know what that shit is. I just keep mine in my wallet. I think some movies are bad because they're made exclusively for naked commercial reasons. Like, for example, all of the Jurassic Park movies after the first one. And then, you know, some movies are bad because they just mess up, you know, something along the way. Like, they have good intentions. I think a great example for me, and people are going to -2 this, but that's fine. This is a difference of opinion that makes us strong. Jojo Rabbit, in my opinion, great example of a movie where I think everybody involved had the best of intentions, but it just didn't land for me personally. And then something like The Meg, bad for naked profit motive, in my opinion. And then some movies are also, I mean, this is the interesting thing about life. They're just bad depending on when you saw them. Like, sure, maybe there's like, oh, I was hungry when I went to the movies, so I was like in a bad mood and I didn't like this, or I had like preconceived notions about this thing. But there's also like, you can watch a movie at like age 12 and be like, this is bad, and then watch it again at age 32 and be like, actually, that movie was good. And what changed? Well, nothing. Well, in a way, everything changed, you know? The world changed. The things you valued in 2003 and that society valued are very different in 2023, or at least different enough to affect change. And of course, you know, you've lived on the planet for longer. You got different tastes. Your tastes evolve over time. That's all I got, really. Bro thinks it's still 2023. It's 2023 until your taxes are filed, okay? So it's going to be 2023 for me until... What day is the deadline this year in Canada? No, not California, because in California, apparently you just keep kicking the can. That's exactly it. A man never watches the same movie twice because it isn't the same movie and it isn't the same man. What are we doing with this? What is this? That's pretty bad. Maybe not. There's pluses and minuses. It's good if you're a fan of the genre. Ooh, that's a big boy. That's not a big boy. Holy fuck, I haven't seen the chest in years. Me when an old witch casts a curse on me that turns me into a suit of armor. Do you guys ever experience that? Have you heard of this one? Me when an old witch casts a fucking spell on me to turn me into a suit of armor so I can't see my chest. It's been years since I've seen the chest. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm sure it would be funny if I got it. Some of you guys need to see fucking Rumpelstiltskin, okay? And that's on Jamie Lee Curtis. Stop hitting me! Call him gluten-free pasta the way he be putting corn in it? I don't even know if that makes sense, to put it succinctly. Is that what gluten-free pasta is made of? Corn? Corn doesn't have gluten? Sometimes? Shit is too complicated for me. We need top scientists on this. DL Guiga says, I remember when Ipecac was a good item. It's actually so funny, DL Guiga, that you have like a big boy job and you endeavor to watch like good art, but then you also watch my content. That's an insult to me, by the way, not to you. That's very flattering, in the same vein as like when I said it's really flattering when old people choose to watch your content because their time is more valuable. In a literal mathematical sense, okay? In all likelihood, at least. All other things being equal. I have a big boy fintech job. I watch you. You work for Wealthsimple. Just because you said fintech. Finance is like, you know, I work at a bank. I work at a hedge fund or something. Fintech is like, I work for that company that lets you break up your Chipotle burrito bowl purchase into 12 payments of 83 cents over the next 12 months. I'm not being a hater. You're probably not the CEO. No disrespect, I didn't mean it like you couldn't be the CEO. I mean, you're probably, you know, you're a mercenary. Sam Bankman-Fried, is that you?